Hey, this is Trip from tripadvice.com, and today I want to talk about how not to give a fuck about what people think about you. Now, this is something that I have personally always been guilty of, something that I had to work hard at for many years. In fact, I still have even more work to do to get to the point where I truly don't give a fuck about what anyone thinks about me on any level whatsoever. But I've worked hard up until this point, and I want to share with you some of the things that I've discovered, some of the things that I've learned personally, and some of the things that I've learned from other people along this journey of not giving a fuck. Now, first of all, why is this important? Well, I know this is going to be important to you when you go out and you meet more girls and you go on dates, because you're going to be going through a series of rejections. You're going to be in your head a lot, trying to figure out what people are thinking about you, what the girls are thinking about you. So it's going to be constant struggle for you as you go out and try to meet beautiful women, try to make friends, and even really just try to get through your whole life, because it's a common problem and we're human and it's normal to always care about what people think. So let's share some stuff that I've learned. I made a little list here. So first of all, I want to tell you that, one, you are not that special. Okay, and I've heard this from someone before. And what I mean is that you're not so special that every single person that you walk by, every single person that you encounter is thinking about you. Okay, that is not happening on a second-to-second, day-by-day basis. In fact, the complete opposite is happening. Most people, just like you are, right, are thinking about yourselves. You're thinking about you, you're thinking about your situation, you're thinking about your day, you're thinking about what other people are thinking about, and a lot of people are thinking that as well. So you're not that special, okay? You're not going to be the one you're not going to be the one on everyone else's minds, okay? So just remember that as you go through life, as you go to bars and maybe you want to approach a girl in front of a lot of other people, or you want to go and approach a girl in line at a coffee shop. Whatever it is, just understand that not everyone cares about you. And they might, maybe in that first split second, people might watch you as you're doing something like that. But guess what? The second it's done, they're all up in their own head thinking about other stuff that they have to do. Okay? So just remember, and I say this in the best way possible, you're not that special. Okay? Let's go on to the second one. Is you got to practice actually making a fool of yourself. Okay? Practice making a fool of yourself. And just watch what happens when you actually do that. In fact, if you ever do by accident make a fool of yourself, watch what happens around you. Watch if anyone really cares. Watch if anyone really notices. In fact, I know that myself, maybe I've fumbled and said something wrong, or maybe I did something weird in conversation, and I would go back to my friend or friends and say like, oh, did you notice this, this, and this? And they would say, no, what are you talking about? So there I am thinking I'm making a fool of myself, saying something wrong, or doing something that I think might be weird, or obnoxious, or whatever it is, and it turns out no one's really paying attention. Okay, again, kind of coming back to that same point where you're not that special. Okay, so go out there and practice making a fool of yourself. Put on some weird clothing, walk outside for a day. Okay, wear something completely embarrassing just to really just feel what it's like to do something weird in front of other people. And you'll notice, yeah, people are looking at you, but what happens is that nothing really happens. Everything that's happening in your life is being filtered through your brain and your thought process. So everything that you think is going on is happening right up here. Nothing bad is really happening. And I want you to prove that to yourself by doing something like that. Okay? Now let's go on to my next tip. You got to understand what's important in your life, okay, so you can stop caring about what other people are thinking of you. If you're constantly struggling thinking about what others are thinking of you and how others perceive you, that means that you really have no priorities in your life. And this is some tough love here. You're really that bored, or you're just not busy enough where you got to spend all your time, or any time really, thinking about what other people are thinking. Get your priorities straight. Do something with your life. Focus on what's important to you. Focus on building a great life. Focus on improving every day. Focus on something else, because if you're constantly thinking about other people and other people thinking about you, well then, it sounds like you're not doing much with your life. So get your act together and get busy, okay? And here's the last one, maybe the most important, and I've definitely discussed this a little bit in the past in some other videos, but in order to really really get through this idea of caring about what other people think and not giving a fuck, you got to be kind to yourself and you got to be compassionate to yourself. And this is something that I heard from someone else. This is not something that I made up, but it's definitely something that's really hit me pretty hard. Be compassionate towards yourself and think about what that means to you. Think about what being compassionate is. A lot of us are trying to be compassionate towards others, but how often are we being compassionate towards ourselves and being nice to ourselves and thinking, well, you know what? If that person does think that, then who cares? Let's go into the worst case scenario of someone thinking a really negative thought about you and you letting it get to you. Be kind to yourself. Be compassionate. You know that you're an awesome person and you know that you're bringing a lot of value to this world, and I hope that you are. I'm assuming that you are. So why don't you give yourself a break? Yeah, that's right. Give yourself a break from all the mental noise. Give yourself a break from all these nonsensical, illogical worries that's going through your brain. Okay, so be compassionate to yourself, aka love yourself. So there you go, some good tips on how not to give a fuck. If you have any questions or you have any tips, I want you to write them in the comments below. And if you're watching this video up until this point, here's what I want you to do. I want you to write in the comments in big capital letters, I do not give a fuck. Write it. Write as many exclamation points as you can. I want to see as many I do not give a fucks as possible. So go ahead, write that in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Go to tripadvice.com to get free gifts on attracting and seducing beautiful women. And I'll see you on the next episode.